I had to chime in here real quick, man, because I'm like, really, we really talking about this? Because
Yeah.
I know like there's a distinct your ass is selfish. Everybody has those moments. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like selfishness is exactly that. When you're just thinking about yourself, like snake like. Like if we all, like you said, agree on something, and you see that a person is only thinking about themselves to get
Mm-hmm.
ahead,
Mm-hmm.
you selfish.
Yeah.
That's where the negativity comes from. Of like, oh, of course, we all have to spend time to get to know ourselves and better ourselves. I don't think that's selfish. That's just you spending quality time with yourself. I think that's a whole other thing. Like
Right.
when you prioritize it, you're like, okay, you could prioritize for yourself and your team so you don't be selfish, right? Because like when you're caring about the whole situation in its entirety, people know that, right? If I'm a boss and I have to pay you, I'm gonna pay you. I'm not gonna just pay myself and be like,
Right.
you know, I'm out. Like, sorry, didn't work out for you. It's like, no, like, come on, man. Like, what are we talking about here, man? It's never cool to be selfish
Mm-hmm.
because you need to think about everybody else. You know what I'm saying? But you need to think about you too. People need
Yeah.
to understand that. But that's where communication comes in. Like, you know, you can't just like expect people to know. You know, yeah. What you said when you connect with Shorty and she, a half hour into it, she bails. Okay, did she bail on some like I was asleep?
Right.
I don't feel like going. That's selfish. If she's like, yo, something happened, my little one in school or something like that, or like I gotta go to the hospital or emergency popped up. That's not being selfish. That's life happens. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like, oh, okay, cool. You know?
But there's like an inception in that now. There's an inception in that because here's the inception, right? Let's say Shorty gamed me up and she was just like, yo, my bad, my car caught a flat or whatever and shit, right? Whole time she fell asleep. Whole time she don't feel like going. Or let's say that she was straight G with it and she was just like, you know what, I changed my mind. You know what I mean? All flighty and shit. You know what I mean? I get you on that. It is selfish, but it's selfish. It's still like it's self-prioritizing in the way that you let me know so I can carry on with my day without you. Because we had
Right.
that. So
But
like,
it's selfish because it's last minute, my guy.
Yeah, I know. I was about to say that last minute
It's
is different.
sad. It's selfish
Right.
because it's last minute. Like she could have told you that
30
3 hours before
minutes
she took her
beforehand.
nap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or the
well,
you
day
know what I'm
before.
saying? Like, because she ain't thinking about you then.
right.
You know what I mean? Then that's what. Come on, you have that as a human being. You feel that.
Mm-hmm.
You
Thanks.
you don't even need no words. You just be like, oh, okay, like not important.
Facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
you
You
can
know?
feel it in the excuse too. Like you can feel when somebody trying to game you with the excuse. Like you can feel the sincerity of what they're saying sometimes. Like you can
Yeah.
feel it. Like even with their explaining, like yo, something came up with the kid or something. Like you can feel that. Like especially if it's like a single mother. Like they typically give off those vibes. Like no, like where you pick
Right.
up like, not bullshit me. She really got to take care of her youngin. You know.
And you have to
Like,
know too, because that situation has to play out, right? You can't judge a person like off the top,
Right.
right? Because
Mm-hmm.
that person might call you back the next day and be like, hey, what are you doing, man? I want to make some time for you. You know what I'm saying? I know I messed up yesterday. You got some time today, next week, whatever. And they make it up to you. Then you're like, okay, cool. Like, maybe that person wasn't on it. Or she did oversleep and was like, I don't feel like doing anything. I woke up with like a different mind state. Like, you know, but if nothing happens after that and you feel like you're chasing somebody, you're like, bro, that person doesn't care about me. They selfish in their own right doing whatever. But again, it depends, right? Because we all share that moment with somebody. We all have been selfish to somebody at some point. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Because let's just face it, we don't care about everybody.
Mm.
You can't really, you know what I'm saying? In certain situations, it's like that's why we have our family members, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, that we hold tight and we know that, we got each other. And then there's the people that are just kind of like around that, and you just
Right.
bump into them because of that circle that, you're like, hey, what's up? Cool. All right, peace.
Right. That's for sure. That's for real. So that African butterfly said, I know there's a lot of comments. I'm gonna see if I can get to as many as possible. Y'all pardon me, but That African butterfly said, nah, sometimes you gotta put yourself first, even if it hurts others. Try not to, but you don't need to put your wants and needs on the back burner for someone else. It's rude because it's last minute, but not selfish because she's self-prioritized. And that's in reference to the hypothetical.
See, I used to think that. I used to think that, yo, sometimes you gotta hurt other people to to you know, kind of like do you. I don't feel that way no more because now that situation's kind of happened to me, where somebody has hurt me to like deal with their own thing. I feel
Right.
like communication is key. You don't have to hurt anybody to get ahead and to do you.
That's
You
a,
Yeah,
know, now
that's
no,
if
why.
you
whoa, whoa,
try to
whoa.
communicate,
Hold on. Hold on.
mhm.
I have to amend that. You do have to hurt. And this is why. Because we're going back to selfish. I cannot control how you feel about my truth or how I express myself to you. Even
No,
if
no,
I'm from the
okay.
heart.
I'll
Man.
reframe that.
This,
There's gonna be some hurt there, but if somebody communicates with me and says I just need time
Yeah.
and respect my time, then okay, I'm gonna hurt, but it's a less of a hurt.
Yeah, it
You know what I'm
is.
saying? Because I'm like I can't. They're trying to figure something out for themselves, and I can't really do anything about that. Like when you purposely go into something like I have to chop these people off and they gotta just go. I mean, I guess like it is what it is. Like when you make that clarity for
Right.
yourself,
Right.
but you could do it in a way where it's just like there's some understanding there, some level of understanding of like this is why I'm going this way. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Because every time I try to stick around you and do things, like it just doesn't work out for me. And I
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
need to figure out like what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I don't know if it's you or me, but like we need to, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that's it. There's still hurt involved, but the communication is there where you're like, okay, cool. Like that person's not intentionally trying to hurt me.
Right.
It's
right.
not even about me at that point. And then when
Exactly.
you overstand that, you're like, okay, cool. Like,
Mm-hmm.
That's why I feel like the communication, like you said, do need to be there. That's why I'm gonna piggyback with what you're saying, but okay. The communication do need to be there because if you communicate that to your loved ones, like even if they aren't completely understanding of the sacrifices you gotta pick towards their relationship, they'll understand to an extent to be like where it's no ill will or no bad blood. Like they'll know like, okay, well you do gotta get some of this. Like it sucks. I wish you could spend more time with me, but I understand like you gotta get this done for yourself. But that's when the communication comes in because if they have an understanding of like, yo, these are my goals, like maybe an understanding of like, yo, I need a certain time commitment to these activities to attain these dreams, like they'll be more lenient, be like, oh, okay, well, I kind of understand, I kind of could see why I probably won't hear from them or why I'm not seeing them as often as I would prefer. But that do come in communication, that come in understanding on they have too, because they have to also be understanding of the fact that, like, yeah, I'm sacrificing time with you, but I'm also sacrificing myself.
Absolutely.
I make time for you. Like, and in the long run, am I here to make you happy or am I here to make myself happy? Because I
Mm-hmm.
can only make you happy, but so much if I'm unhappy the whole
right,
time.
right, right.
Mm-hmm. Kia said people hurt their own feelings and expectations and how they perceive the information. Big fact. Big fact. Miss Davis said, and if they communicate and they don't understand, it doesn't matter. Ooh. Ooh.
And they are pearls for that.
Yeah. I mean, but also depends on the person. Now, if let's say it's a close family member, a daughter, a son, that doesn't play out
Mm.
Yeah, it
because
is
it
tough
does
as it.
matter because it's blood and it's your it's a little one you created.
Mm.
So you can't just be like, well, I don't care what they think. It doesn't matter. It's like, nah, like we gotta be connected throughout life, period. Somehow, some form of fashion, we need to cure this whole situation up. Whether it's time that needs to be had separated or some better communication, therapy, whatever it is, you can't just let go. I mean, there is certain situations of people letting go because it can't be one-sided. Obviously, it doesn't matter if because you even have like 50 Cent talking about that. Like he's like, I don't have a son. Like the oldest son is like, he's like,
Yeah.
mom talked to him. He feel
That's
his way.
right.
I have to live my life. I have another son I have to take care of. People think of that as him being like heartless, and it's like
It's
He's
not
not
about
being heartless.
No. Yeah.
the end of the
Yeah,
day. To accredit that before I jump back into comments, at the end of the day, there's certain laws in effect about how we communicate to people in our lives according to their rank. You know what I mean? You can free spirit all that shit all you want. You be disrespectful to your parents, your shit ain't gonna go as smooth as you think shit gonna go in life. That fucking facts, nigga. But
Yeah.
also, it's a responsibility on the parents as well to be fucking parents. So it's like a balance with that shit. So I feel you on that though. But Purple said self-preservation is the first law of nature. No, people choosing themselves is inevitable. Caring too much, you crack your back. Ooh.
That is true. There's a lot of truth up in that because, yeah,
yeah.
I've been one to overcare and overgive, you know, and I have felt the pain of what that felt emotionally and physically because giving someone so much of you can start to hurt you physically. Like for me, it started fluctuating with my weight and shit. You know, I started losing pounds. I'm start carrying their stress and their agitations and the little things that agitate them is adding to my list of things that's agitating me, making my
Mm-hmm.
life chaotic. You know,
I had
sometimes
to learn. I had to learn though. I
I need
had to learn how to move different.
Mm-hmm.
You said what?
When those situations happen, that teaches you how to learn to move a little different. You know what I mean? Because it's
Oh
like
yeah,
at some point you have to say, yeah, no, this is me. Because sometimes people don't even ask for all that. You just give it.
give it to them. Yeah. Oh no,
You
yeah.
know?
That's been my issue. That's why I had to learn. You know,
Me too.
firsthand.
Nah.
My actual last three situations have really pointed that out because I didn't pick up the lesson, and it took me into the third situation to fully comprehend. Yo, this shit keep repeating. Like this is me. Like I need to watch how I'm giving and how I'm pouring, and start valuing how much energy I'm pouring into people. And as I started to dial it back and just started pouring it more into me, I did start picking up the I'm looking for the right word, but I can't really find it. But I did start picking up the energy of like, yo, you don't really do this as much as you used to, or you don't do that as much as you used to. It's just like, well, you know, like I can't continue overflowing your cup when when I'm over here parched as shit. You know, I gotta pour something in my cup. You know.
Well,
Yeah.
this is that whole protecting your energy and learning how to like give that to people who
Mm-hmm.
are giving it back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't
You
toss
know.
your pearls before swine, yo.
Mm-hmm.
But purple just checked me. She said cracks your black, not back. My bad. Pardon me. And Miss Davis complimented and said cracks your heart too. And that's a big fact.
Yeah, that's the biggest part. That's the biggest part. Hurt. You
Mm.
know, because you can have love for a person all day. You know, but if they do you wrong, sometimes you gotta separate from them, regardless of how much you love them. You gotta just be like, I gotta put that love on the back burner. Like,
Oh no, yeah, but you know, it in those situations too, it is what it is. You have to figure out how to deal with that, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I had to figure out how to deal with my situation when it came to that. It's like, all right, like what am I gonna do? Bury myself in a hole?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Be depressed, be
yeah,
delusional.
right.
Like you know, when you have knowledge of self, it's hard to go into the negative space.
Facts. You preaching, but okay. Like that's real talk. Cause I actually, all right. So I'm like that's actually my stance. I've been going through it with my current situation because that thing ended, and like I've been getting questions from people that have been like, "Yo, why you aren't sad about it, or more depressed, or more emotional about it?" And I'm just like, "Look, I put my all up into it. You know, I'm okay with everything I gave up in it. You know, it just didn't work out.
It,
Yeah,
there's freedom in that.
That's a
When
super.
yeah, I
when
know.
you know it's not you, you walk away no problem. But like, hey,
Yeah. Cause
Yeah.
I'll just be like, you know what? It wasn't me. It wasn't her. It just wasn't what it's supposed to be. It was just, it is what it is. But I know I did everything I could have possibly put up into it, so I'm okay with the results of how they played out. You know.
but, yo, fellas, man, I'm gonna get out of here though, man. I want to keep chatting, but I just got dinner and I'm getting the text like, yo, your food gonna get cold. So,
Oh, I understand.
No smoke. You hear me? I don't want no smoke, nor do I want to be responsible for smoke in the future. I love you, man. We'll talk.
Thanks for
take it
jumping
easy,
on, though.
man. Yeah, no problem, man.
Word, word.
Stay peace.
Hey, for me.